I'm just back and this is a video on Bingo 2.0. It's a popular Scratch 1.4 modifications having its own wiki page. It's quite amazing. And also it adds 4 categories to Scratch 1.4, which is very cool, along with its own compiler to change to executable files. I think it's only for Windows, or I don't know if it will work for Mac. You can see a welcome screen over here when I start this thing, and yeah, this improves. They're just saying out 2.0 more things, and so I'm posting it nearly after a month, and you may have forgotten a bit, but I always do from top to bottom, but even for modification this time. And so let's just check it out from here. You can just shift click over here and test the version and do several other things for some other things. And the second thing is that we're going to check the languages. There are almost 6 languages available, which is quite cool for modifications, but there is some kind of a bug there, but anyway, fine. Okay, let me just close that and let me see if there's anything wrong. No, there's nothing wrong. And also one thing to note, that Bingo saves using the .bingo extension. As you can see, I've saved a file over here, and so Bingo also can open projects from Scratch 1.4, means the .sp files as well, which is quite cool. And after that, there's also a button to share your projects to ModShare. ModShare is nothing but a website that is used to share projects made in Scratch modifications or Scratch itself, but it only works for 1.x for now, and also it got slight compatibility with 2.0 mods as well, but it never got updated, I think so. And also its URL got changed, so it may have some bugs or something. And the next thing, that you can compile to executable, but only if you made some good project, not like simply doing it for this thing. But anyway, let's test it out. And I don't know if it will work or not, that's why I'll close it rather. And you can browse ModShare in Bingo. Let me see if it does work or not, because I never seen when it's last updated. I think ModShare has been taken down multiple times and has been remade in different URLs and different settings, so I don't think it's gonna work. You can see it's not working, but anyway, we can manually do it. And files and edit is almost same, except for this open last project, which is quite cool. And you can also set for compatibility mode here, which will help you to program in Scratch 1.4 without 1.4, which just means that it will remove the extra blocks added by ModShare and also restore some blocks there. Of course, this bug would not be gone. It's not a bug, it's just purposeful for the ModShare's features. And you can of course show the motor blocks, which we always seen, but it's in a different menu now. And some other things like this, respect breakpoints, which you will see later. And one most important thing is that you can set theme. It's a quite amazing feature for 1.4. I really wanted it for 1.4, like setting themes, but of course nobody's gonna make it now because it just becomes so outdated. And so I've just downloaded already a file, and let me just go there. And I hope it doesn't get hang or something, then my video is wholly ruined. And so Bingo skin arrow, should I open the folder or something? Anyway, let me use okay. Let's see if it works or not. This is just a theme that I downloaded from the official website itself, and also the official website has some links broken, whatever is the reason. You can see the new arrow theme is here. Of course, I didn't on any arrow in my computer. And yeah, you can see some themes in some pop-up menus. It's not as good, but anyway, fine. For the Squeak program, you can see some icons has changed. And anyway, I like this theme, so let me just keep it there. And there's also about Bingo, and there are 3 buttons to give you help. about bingo and several other things. Also there are credits about the users who are helpful to make this thing. And yeah, also there's a welcome screen. That's what you're seeing when you opened it. And the fifth button over here is for developers. You can just see some clues and all in case you're gonna mod the mod of the Scratch itself, which I know it's quite confusing. Means like modding the bingo itself is a mod which can be modded. That's what they're coming to say over here. You can just shift click here if you need to mod or something. Here also there's shift click for writing project summary, and here you can shift click for some features like this. And yeah, so we have looked at the top, I think so. Oh yeah, I forgot that there's this thing. There are four presentation modes. This is the presentation mode like in the website. This is for the full screen. This is for this normal stage, and this was smaller stage. And you can see there's a presentation mode or something. Anyway, fine. And so so the canvas, this canvas and the sprite list has not much changes except for the pictures and the appearance of the image instead of a cat. And so the most important part of this is the block changes. So let's just look at it. And one important thing is that you can just right click on these things and see help even for the blocks that they have created, which is very useful because these mods, usually we don't understand well about mods, and this is quite a good mod. That's why it's having this help files and all. And you can also show specs. You can see it's a command type block and selector. And if you're taking this is supposed to be a boolean or something. Yeah, it's a boolean type and it's draggable. And you got its specs over here. Also you can see this one also. It's a reputo block and it's exposition. And that's how you get these specs in case you needed them for some important purpose. Also you can set breakpoint, which you will test now. And so one important thing which we can see is the hat shape block has become collapsible. Not only for this, but you can still collapse it like that. This is what's called collapsing, which means shortening the script. And of course, yeah. And so there's also a third thing called breakpoint, which let's just see now. And this is supposed to rotate like by 90 degree. Oh, let's execute the script before itself. So let's keep it 90 degree and set a breakpoint on the move 10 steps. This means when you put play, you can see it didn't rotate and it's saying the engine has reached breakpoint. If you give yes, it will just stop like that. If you again play it, if you give no, it will just rotate it, as you can see. And just reset it to back to its position. Okay, and that's a breakpoint, and you can of course remove it as well you want. Breakpoint just means it's used for debugging purposes, where you can stop scripts in between its execution. That's the thing. That's the point about this. And I'm not going to be doing much on scripting, but yeah, we'll just do some simple things like testing the blocks out. And this 3 blocks, like setting a rotation style, has inspired Scratch a lot. These blocks in the motion like rotation style checker, these draggable blocks in order to change this draggability has inspired Scratch a lot. And you can just change your rotation style to normal. Means these 3 buttons over here are there, but no controls were there using the blocks. This is the normal rotation mode, and you can of course set it to left to right rotation mode, which you can see that it will only do from left to right how much ever you rotate it. But if you go above the 180 degree or 0 degree only, it will change its rotation. That's what's called left to right. And none means nothing. It will just do it. It cannot rotate. That's what does none mean. That's what I understand now. And none means it should not rotate. And anyway, let's just set it to the normal mode like that. You can manually do it over here, or using the blocks you can do it. Means in different instances it should be different. Like in a particular part of the script it will be rotatable, and other script it will not be rotatable, just like that. That's what this meant. this would point it back to the normal direction and continue. And you can of course check if it's draggable or not. If you're gonna make it like that, it will make it as true, and then here false. And you can also toggle manually draggability while the project is running. I think this should be inspiring the Scratch later versions. Like if you're making it true and making full screen, you can drag it. Of course, presentation mode is almost same. It's like uploading to the website, right? And yeah, that are a new block. That's a new block, and let's just toggle back off and check if it's draggable. It's false. But one problem is that it doesn't change these things. It appears to be buggy over here. Means if I click over here, it's supposed to change this to like that, but it's not happening like that. And rotation style is also there, which is quite cool. You can check which rotation style it is without checking over here because it's not working. As you can see, yeah, here it's changing, but here it's not changing. I mean, near this, I don't know what do they call this place, because I have not spoken much about this. Maybe this is called an sprite naming place or something, which has moved to here in 3.0 of course, unlike 1.4. and I think we are going out of topic, so let's just get back into the topic and continue. So in controls block, you can see the last broadcast over here. Let me just hide this rotation style and come back here, and you can see the last broadcast over here in case you made a new broadcast like that. And let me just set a new name, like you can see it could check the last broadcast which I have done. I can even name it nothing. I'm broadcasting something, and if I broadcast something, it will just come to the last broadcast. I think it should remember the broadcast somehow. And also one important thing to note down is, I forgot to say that, is you cannot right click and add comments to it. The only way to add this is inline comment, like in 1.2, Scratch 1.2, and that's how you add an inline comment here. That's how you add an inline comment. Of course, it's not going to affect anything. Yeah, that I just collapsed the script before throwing it. Yeah, and I forgot to check this one. Do without screen refresh. Actually, I'm not well aware about these things. I think so it's for preventing lag, like in platformers, which GriffPatch usually does, is to check this run without screen refresh. Anyway, you can use the help, which I already told you, if you need to know some information about this. But I think so this one doesn't have the help file or something, or maybe this didn't have it. So let's just get back into the place and check if there's any more blocks. So we're going to looks. It's quite overwhelming, but still fine. Some things appear to be a little funny, but anyway, I don't know if you can lively use it on things and all. Like when you press the flag, like you have to edit the current costume. Let me see if it does work on the full screen mode, which means like uploading to the website. It does work, but it gets a little buggier. Oh no, yeah, that's okay. Just click it 3 times, I think so. And that's how you bring in editing. Like if you need to edit the project while running it, it's quite funny, but still it's okay. You can edit it, just saying the possibilities, and you can of course delete the costume one, which is quite kind of weird. Let me keep this as costume. Let me edit the costume one and just add like something like that. You can see I've just done like that, and I can delete the costume one. Now you can see only costume 2 is left. Instead of doing it manually, you can use this blocks to do it, like a particular controller or something. And you can check the costume number, I don't know if it is there or not, and name of the costume, which is very cool. You can check the name of the costume if you need it. Want to check if it is a value. This is very useful for cloning, but I don't know why they didn't add it. Or I think this is added, I don't remember anyway. And stage image. This should report the whole stage image, which is kind of weird. Let me just make a variable and store it inside of it and see how it's gonna work, because I've never tested this out yet, or it'll just bug out or something. You can see just simply putting costume 3 stage inside of it. There's no clone current image. Anyway, this is quite kind of, I don't know where would they use that looks block in. Maybe somewhere else. Add image to costume and switch it to red. So what's the image over here? I think it needs to import things. Let me see if it will ask for importing something. Wait, what did it add actually? I have no idea about this, if it's gonna ask importing or not, or maybe it is having some bugs. And you can there's also put a block for color effects. You can just change it like that. And yeah, it can report the color effects also. I think this is very necessary to be added to Scratch 3.0 as well. And you can also check if it's showing or not. In case you're using some ghost effects to hide things, this will report it properly. It's also kind of useful, but I think not to overwhelm people. Scratch team never adds like this blocks, but it's very useful as well. In case you're using ghost effects along with it, used to test if it's showing or not. It's reporting true. If I'm hiding it, it will report false. So let's just show it. And you can change the size and report it, as well as you can report the layer as well. It's in layer 4. I think layer 4 is the default layer. This is what I understand now. I think this is just getting hanged. I think this is the last layer, and I cannot go front because there's no more something over here. As you can see, this become to layer 1. Then if you like layer backwards, it just went backwards. And that's how it can work. And so then we can see only that much blocks are there in this one. And I even started forgetting what blocks were there. Anyway, fine. That's why I'm just becoming slightly slower than other videos. Anyway, you can check if they're touching a particular another item, or you can also check like if that sprite is touching another sprite, which is like, oh, I just clicked export the sprite by mistake, and let me just cancel. Let me just duplicate like that. You can see there are you can even check if the sprite 2 is touching the sprite 3 without a broadcast. You can understand that. It's okay, kind of useful, but there are even broadcasts which you can use rather by keeping up a script in this block 2, I mean the sprite 2. And touching colors there, okay, that's okay. And you can also ask in a dialogue, what's your name? It will just report hello automatically. I don't know what the shape in this thing. Maybe I need to check the block specs, because the shape is not used in default of Scratch, but it's a reporter which is rectangular in shape because they added it. And also they can check the answer, but answer is not stored here, I think so. Yeah, answer is not stored here, it's directly stored into this reporter. Actually, I've never heard like a reporter asking something, but just for dialogue, that's why. It just works like other programming language. Like how I means you have to store it in a variable first. That's how it works if you need to report the information. And now we can check that it went into hello. That's how it works. And you can also put color. You can also save colors in the form of this, and you can set colors. And I don't know how to use this yet now, but maybe we will learn it later. And you can also check for left and right or middle click, just like in Turbo Op in this version itself. Just need to put something like, you can check if it's true or not. Let me just check if it, oh yeah, I cannot check left click over here. And anyway, we're just reading it or something now. And then we got something like, let's see if we got extra no, we didn't got anything like that. Actually, what is this volume is a new thing for me for checking other things, or maybe I didn't remember it. And that's even loudness. Oh, it started getting hanging again. Oh, I got it back anyway. It is saving time. And let's see when a default system beep. I don't know if my system beeps or not, but just check if your system is beeping or something. It's some kind of a block which is not going to work. And that's not my computer's beep. I just by mistakenly pressed the drum. And you see this is the operators with, it's kind of compressed, but it's very useful. It's called minus minus here. You can see it can do subtraction. Also some things are added like log and e over here rather than on the main operators over there. And you can also check random numbers. This will means if you're picking a random number, it will automatically get stored into this variable rather than just simply picking random numbers. That's how it works, and it removed the previous random number thing. And if we set to compatibility mode, maybe we'll get the blocks back. You can see we got the block back. So this compatibility mode is very useful when I compare these things rather than opening two versions at the same time. And OR is there, and XOR is also there. I forgot the use of XOR. This is the problem with me. I need to learn a little more on this data types. I think they are called operators. Yeah, operators, I forgot. Logical operators, and these are some string operators. You can see it reports hello, length you can see. You can also reverse it, lowercase it or uppercase it, which is little useful to make things much easier in case you're making something so complex, related text and several other things. You can also split this into a list, or you can use a list. Okay, we stored something on the list, and you can see that it stored that 1 2 3 4 5 into the list. It's kind of very useful if you're going to store this information into the list easily, more easily than ever before. And you can also join the lists using comma. You can see they store these numbers as getting reported. Also there's a reporter for if else block in the form of this, which can be used for strings. I think this is very useful over here in this case. And you can put a condition over here, like what can I say, like maybe I'll just put an a over there, means if a is equal to 0. Also I think you can just keep on putting if again and again into it. Yeah, it's working like that as I've thought it should work. If a is equal to 0, then say hi. It's saying hi. And if it's I'm just going to change to 1, and I'm going to do it like that, just saying bye. That's how it works. And yeah, there are more things like more mathematical operators over here. You can just explore it and see, because I don't know, this takes a lot of time. And you can also report infinity, and there's arithmetic progression as well, and several other stuffs which can be done kind of easily. And in pen, nothing more is added, I think so. I think this is the new thing. We'll check if it's pen down or not. Now it's down, now it's up. That's how it works. And let's check variables. And variables can be gotten, means their values can be told rather than being clicked over here. And you can automatically set like that. This is not a never existing variable, that's why it will report 0. It's very useful in case you're going to create some variable using using this one. This one is used to create a variable manually, means for when the project is running, it will automatically create and delete variables. It's kind of weird, but yeah, you can use that rather than lists in some purposes, in case you're making some cloud game or something. But it's not possible now in these things. And of course this has no change, almost, I think so. I don't know if anything is added over here because I don't remember much about list, and I'm thinking all these features were there. And so we are coming to data type. This is also some kind of an operator, but I don't know why this is not merged with this. Anyway, it's kind of same, but yeah, these things are different. It will check if hello is a number. it'll of course report false. If it's a text, yeah, it will report true. A color, of course it's not a color, but let me just check with the string like blue. Of course I told blue is not a color because it's a string type, string data type thing. If you need something like a color, I don't know, what should we do? I don't remember where I saw this. This is what is confusing about this because of the vast amount of things that are present over here. Yeah, right here. You can check if this is a color, it will say true. You can also check if it's an image in case you're gonna be importing some stage image. This is how you can check if it's an image. Yeah, true. If you just put like that, it will say true. And a boolean which you can check, but let me just put like that and see if it's gonna check, if it's gonna say. You can see true says true and also false says false. False says true, and I don't know if yes is a boolean, but let's just see. Okay, it's not a boolean. And you can also put in some other things like what, like some blocks over there. This can be useful in converting some data types, and I think it's adding some data type. That's what is the new thing about this. And you can check several other things here. Just quite tiring now, that's why I'm not fully seeing these things. And you can, there's also an separate kind of this thing for easier access rather than clicking on the drop down. You can also report multi-line things. Multi-line thing means like a long paragraph. You can just store it down this variable. But this is not working as intended, but it's reporting like this and it's automatically get converted into this kind of thing. Oh yeah, it's a paragraph. I just forgot that enter doesn't matter sometime. Maybe I need double enters. No, still it doesn't matter. Anyway, this creates some paragraph things or multi-line things. Add variable. This is what I said, that it will manually create variables. You can see it's a temporary variable, some kind. It's a private variable as well. Let's just make it global. But you cannot keep same name, that is the problem, that's why. You can see this creates a temporary variables, and rather than doing it manually like that, you can do it when the project is running itself. Kind of useful for some things. It's very useful for some things like that. And you can of course delete variables rather than doing it manually. Actually I've done it manually. Anyway, let me just create a variable called var and delete it. Yeah, that's deleted. And you can also add a new list or delete it, just like you created a variable. And you can also move the variables, which are nice. You can see it's moving it to the positions which I'm asking it to. But this is not well made in this version, that's why. This is the center point, I think so. Center point means the starting is the center point over here, and this can be fixed maybe later, but it's working well. You can move this variable. This is a very useful feature as well. I wanted this to be added, but anyway, not a very useful thing for many projects, but I can use it in case you need to some controls or something. You can set the layout to small, large. You can see we can set the layout as well in case we needed it, rather than doing a manual thing when the project is running itself. You can just change it to some modes and all. I don't know if there's much use on this, but anyway. But this is not like just like clicking a button. It's more like a very interesting thing that's running in the background. And I'm gonna be creating something so funny or something. Let me see what strange is gonna happen. Pick random from 1 to, why not minus 200? But this I don't personally like this because it's not letting us to create more random things and storing it into different variables. That's why I hate this thing a little bit. They did a big mistake adding like that. And wait a second, Yeah, here's my forever, and let me just go there. It's gonna be very strange. Oh, it's not working. It's a very strange thing happening here, and I don't know if it's gonna cause a big lag. Why is the variable so strange? It's kind of funny. And the variable is moving. It's very cool. I think I need to put a timestamp here because this video is getting longer. And you can also check if the variable exists or something. False. You can do checking like the variable exists or not. But I think A is gonna exist. Yeah, A exists. And to hide this, you have to put a perfect name and then uncheck it. That's how it works. And this is kind of a buggy thing and confusing as well. You can also clone yourself, but this is not actually called a cloning, I think so. But is this a clone really? I don't know. I think you cannot create clones in this thing. Okay, let me create a clone and delete all my clones. Okay, that's working. What if I manually duplicate this thing and let's just put delete all my clones? Okay, it's not working. I think there's some kind of a thing going in the background which reports that it's a clone. And you can also delete yourself, which is something. We got us back here. Actually, why these things exist still? Oh yeah, it's a global variable. And you can report the stage picture, the sprite itself, and sprite named I don't know. We will create some simple sprite, like something like a cat is. I know that I'm drawing very badly, but it's just for a simple purpose. I don't draw well as well in real life as well. And this can report sprite 2. You can see it's reporting it, and you have to put the perfect name for it as well. This is kind of weird, but wait, let me just rename it so that I can see. Ingo. So it does have a name, but this is kind of confusing. Set name of Ingo to sprite. Okay, it just changed to sprite. Sprite to bingo. You can see the name is changing here. I don't know if you can notice it because it's gonna get some low resolution or something. And do for sprite bingo. Okay, this thing I don't know. I think I need to look at tutorials or something else. Then we are in here world, which we got some time running. This is my computer time, not a internet time or something. You can check also several other things like hours and time even before it existed in Scratch. You can check if a key is pressed. Wait, let me just set the variable to the key pressed. We're just demonstrating it for now. Maybe we're gonna make 2 or 3 more videos on testing this bingo or something, or who knows, maybe I'm gonna be doing it completely forever. Just pressing some keyboard keys, but it cannot check some keys like shift, which are very sensitive, and of course some other keys other than, but the numbers are also not working. I think it's working only for alphabet keys. Okay, I'm pressing E, D, C, space is becoming nothing, X, and let me just check this thing. It's only working for alphabets for now, or maybe it's intentional. And you can also read files, which are a very complicated feature, but you can understand it very simply. I'll just open Notepad for now because this needs some kind of notepad things. It could be useful for save codes and all. It will automatically save a file to your computer. Sometimes it may ask permissions and all. So let's just create something like what. Just put it like that and let me just save it. And I should choose my directory as well so that I don't get any issues. and it can almost read any file, but I recommend text because text is the simplest thing to read, and if anything else is read, it will be kind of some kind of fuzzy thing. I think if you simply put the text name, it should read it. If it's in the same directory, otherwise you should put the whole directory name in there. Well, let's just test it out and see, as usual. Wait, did I put a capital, or I don't know if it's sensitive. Yeah, it's case sensitive maybe. Yeah, you can see it's not case sensitive, but can read the file. This is a file, you can see it's reading it. Wait, let's just see the readme.txt. Oh wait, what happened to readme.txt? Let me just open it. It should have been changed. I'm sorry if I made any grammar mistake because I'm just talking very fast. Yeah, you can see it has just modified some things, and if you read this now, you can see it's saying text here also. You can type whatever you want here. Oh, that's kind of weird. Sometimes this functions could add some crashes and all if you're using it wrongly. And you can also read the URLs, of course, and this is kind of slow, but it will do it, I think so. And along with the traditional HTTPS, which I just didn't use for a long time. Wait, it's not supporting HTTPS or something? Oh, it's very slow. Let me just rather not explore these things a lot, because my computer is not even fast enough for some things, and if my memory got used a lot, the recording would get slowed down or something. And this thing is also kind of funny. You can create a simple loop for this program by putting this over here. It's a kind of simple loop you can make using Bingo without using the C-shaped blocks. And yeah, there's a workaround in Scratch as well by using broadcasts. Yeah, you can check if it's in presentation mode, it's reporting false. Now when I made it become true, or even full screen is presentation mode, so it's true. And this will report true, and false will report false. And constants, you can report some simple constants like pi, which has 3.14, I think so, right? 3.1415. Yeah, and also phi, I don't know what's a phi. Anyway, it's maybe half of pi or something. Yeah, I think that's what is phi. And sprite name is here, you can check for it. Okay, this is for a dialog. You can just make a fun thing like that. Okay, it's like making your squeak program or something easily. Sure, yes. The thing over here is coming as question mark. Maybe they could add some title or something here. And inform hello. This would use like this. But let me see if it works inside the project itself. If yes is kicked, it will say true, I think. Yeah. And also I'll store this into the variable a, and of course we can also create a new variable and set this manually. This is not a much required feature. I don't know how to use it yet that much. Maybe it could be for temporary, that's what I already told. And let me store something. Yeah, this thing, and include inform hello. Okay, that's just an informer. Wait, it is already made the sure thing, right? Okay, this is another UI. Nothing is a difference much. It's also kind of similar to this one, but in some other UI like this, rather than being like this. You can set the clipboard, you can change the clipboard, I think so. This could read the clipboard, which is amazing. But let's test this feature first before going to the clipboard thing. Okay, just said okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And yeah, this is true, and it just informed all those things. It's more like programming in some other language like VB or something basic. And you can report the clipboard even if I'm copying from outside. Maybe I'm copying this, you can see this read the clipboard, which I did in Notepad. And let's see if my frame per second is going correctly. Yeah, it's kind of okay. And also let's just say just check some things like this thing in case there was some change. I think there are some UI changes slightly due to the theme pack which I put here. And let me check the recorder. Recorder is kind of same, and I'm completely okay with it. I think we can end the video by checking out the final feature we forgot to check in between, which is just quit the bingo. So we're gonna be clicking this thing. This is kind of weird, but yeah, that's it all about the video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And of course, I'll leave a download link in the below as well. And these are the things which I have in the folder. Maybe you can also visit the official site to download it, but I don't know if some links are broken or not. And yeah, that's all about this video.